welcoming you all for this evening program, which is very interesting. So I welcome Sujay ji and all the chapter heads, coordinators, and very uh, all the members, every member from across India. And we have our guest speaker, and today's guest speaker, Dr. Geeta Manjunath. So I want to, you know.
Hello.
Yes, Geeta, I'm.
Karam, Vanakkam.
There are across the across India, Geeta. So a brief introduction about her is Dr. Geeta Manjunath is a founder, CEO, CTO of Niramai Health Analytics and has led a company to develop a breakthrough in artificial intelligence solution for detecting early stage breast cancer in a non-invasive radiation-free manner. Geeta holds a PhD from IASC and management education from Kellogg, Chicago. She comes with over 25 years of experience in IT innovation. She has proposed and led multiple AI projects, artificial intelligence projects at Xerox Research and Hewlett Packard, that is HP India. Before starting Niramai, Geeta was a lab director for data analytics research at Xerox India. Geeta has received many international and national recognition for her innovations and entrepreneurial work, including CSI Gold Medal, BIRAC, that is BIRAC Winner Award 2018, and is also on the Forbes list of top 20 self this year. Geeta is also an inventor of 16 US patents and more pending grant. She was recently awarded Accenture Vahini Innovator of the Year award from Economic Times. That is too little to tell about her. We know her as a person, and it's her passion that she wants to give something. There is always many hurdles, and how do you overcome these hurdles with a very simple, some solutions. That is where her thinking goes. She does not think small. Her vision is always big, not giving a solution for one day, 1 minute. Like she thinks in a global way or in a very vast way. That is where her so many innovations are there, and I'm so thankful to her that she is giving her valuable time today here. So over to you, Geeta ji.
Thank you so much, Rekha ji. It was very kind of you to say such big words. And it's really my pleasure to address such senior, experienced, people with a lot of wisdom, which we can see in the names, the way they introduce. I'm so thankful that you've given me an opportunity to, share some of the small learnings that, we have, over the last, we've learned over the last few years. Particularly if I'm able to sort of, provide some additional awareness to people to take care of their health during this talk, I'll be very, very happy. So as Rekha ji mentioned, yes, I'm founder of this startup called Niramai. And Niramai in Sanskrit means being healthy. Without right. So it is more like you would have heard about this saying in from Vedas, right? Sarve santu niramayaha. Let everyone be healthy. That is our motto. We also have an expansion. It is non-invasive risk assessment through machine artificial intelligence. How to use AI or artificial intelligence, which is a new computer science method to automatically use software to do certain things that brains can do, that doctors can do, certain specialists can do, that how can computers do? Of course, it can't do everything, but there has been a lot of development in the field of computer science, particularly in AI, artificial intelligence, not human intelligence. How do we mimic human intelligence in an artificial way. So using that, it's basically a bunch of mathematical models, probability statistics oriented models, using data and making a decision. So how do we use this technology to non-invasively detect health risks has been our motto. And particularly, to this audience, I would like to share that, I was, of course, as Rekha ji mentioned, I was in a multinational company, a lot of money and all of that. And then, and I was in a good position. And then, unfortunately, one of my cousin's sisters got detected with breast cancer. She was just about 40 years of age. And the doctor basically said she has only a few months to go. So it was very shocking. And I said, okay, being a technologist, having a PhD from IISc, what is the use if I'm just sort of, doing something which basically, is far reaching. It's for just sort of the global world, without helping such a big problem, which is this breast cancer, right? So breast cancer actually is taking away not just one or two people around, it's actually taking away a lot of people. 600,000 women die every year because of this disease. And that is very, very bad, because breast cancer is completely curable disease. Nobody needs to die of breast cancer. They can live many, many years, even after a surgery, even after a treatment. That is the key problem, right? Why are we losing so many women? This is around the world. In fact, in 2020 numbers are also out. It is 680,000 women died in 2020 year 2020. So it's actually increasing. And what is also astonishing is that the age of breast cancer is also coming down. Earlier, very, very elderly, like, after 60, 70, like that. But now you're seeing 25-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-olds, actually also getting this disease and finding that out also late. And we'll talk about more about that, right? So late detection is the problem. Late detection means if a person finds it out in stage 3, stage 4 type of stage, then it is very difficult to give 100% guarantee of cure. So typically what is seen is, in India, most women detect by hand, and we'll again talk about what that means. And it's usually stage 3, stage 4. And we end up losing 50% of the ladies who are detected with breast cancer within 2 years. And that is the problem, right? It can recur and it can come again and all of that. So that we want to avoid. We really can save all of these 600,000 women. In India, it's almost 90,000 women who died last year because of this disease. So how do we save that? And how do we, all of us, save ourselves from this? And that is what I'm going to focus on today. And for all of this, as we discussed before, as I mentioned before, it is early detection, which is very, very key. Early detection means stage 0, stage 1 detection, which has 95% survival. If 100 people are detected with breast cancer, 95 of them can live more than 2 to 3. That's a lot of, because there's so many ways in which, it could be 100 also, 100% also. Whereas now, if 100 people are detected with breast cancer, only 50 of them are able to live more than 2 years. So that is the thing, right? So how do we do that? And first of all, before we say how, we say why. Why is early detection not happening? So let's figure out the problem a little bit more. So if you look at the current methodologies, they are not affordable, accessible. That is a main problem for India in any test, as you know. Particularly for breast cancer detection, the test that we usually was being used, around the world so far is what is called as mammography. Some of you would have already gone through this test, I'm sure, right? Mammography is basically compression of the breast between two plates and being sort of passing X-ray through it. Like you would take a X-ray of your hand and, or a chest X-ray, all of us would have taken at least once in our lifetime, which is okay, no problem. What it's trying to figure out, and when you see an X-ray, you'll see that, right? There is the skeleton will appear white, the chest ribs will appear white, rest will be black. Same way, what they're trying to do is to find those white, small, lumpy, or what you call as microcalcifications, which is what they're finding in a black thing. So when you take a compression, you actually apply about 10 kgs of weight. It's very, very painful. Most people cry. And then still, we are able to find small lumps or small calcifications, which may lead to some issues. But this test is about 3,500 to 4,000 rupees. And for early detection, you have to do the test every year. And that's a lot of money when there's no problem. None of us have any symptom. Still, we are saying, go and do this test, right? So that is one. And also the machine itself is 1 crore rupees. So many hospitals do not have this test available. And I'll show you a picture of this. It's not available. They don't provide. And so people in tier 2, tier 3 cities or villages need to go to a hospital in a city, capital city or tier 1 city to actually get this test. And so it reduces the number of people who are going for this test, even if they have the money to do so. Third, importantly, I did mention it is X-rays, and I'm very scared of, and also very wary about why should we use X-ray to detect cancer, because we can't even use the test very often. Because if you want to detect early, you want to do the test every year, but you can't go on putting yourself under X-ray every year. That is not good because it increases the risk to cancer. So this is a test which is supposed to protect people from cancer. It has an ability to increase the risk of the person for the cancer. So that is not an ideal situation. Finally, of course, I did talk about pain. And most importantly, the last point is that this test works only on women above 45 years of age. We have our friends, daughters, sisters, all of them, right? When the age is coming down, all of us have to take care of ourselves. And today, there's no such test. And finally, so what happens? How are these people finding? If they get into a cancerous issue, they can finding it by hand. So accidentally, while taking bath or something, they figure out that there's a lump. In about a month, they see it's growing, and say, oh, there is a problem. I need to go to the doctor. That's what they do. And to feel with the hand, it has to be 2.5 centimeter in size, which is stage 3, stage 4. So that is what is happening. And we want to change that. As a group of people that got affected by this issue, we said, how can we change this situation? How can we make sure that everyone on this earth can do this test in a very affordable, accessible, non-radiation, non-painful way? And everyone means every person below 45, above 45, anyone who is likely to get disease. Not that we are worried and we will sort of get or whatever. It's a preventive check. How many of us do regular glucose check? We have this AccuCheck and other machines at home and do the check every day. Why? We want to keep that under control. Same way, can we have a test which is not, we are not saying, you don't have to be diabetic to take a sugar test, right? So you want to do, if you don't have sugar, you just need to check every year to make sure that to understand what is the level so that you can fine tune your activities in the day so that you can prevent, if possible, prevent it from coming in at all, right? And fix anything that you're not doing properly in the diet, in the exercises, general life style itself, right? So that is the idea. The idea is to enable a test that can work for women of all age groups and work in a way that it is non-invasive, affordable, accessible. And we will talk about that test later, but let's look at how do we detect, and how do we detect? Let's say we don't have any tests. There are two ways to do it. You do a test every year. Another is some kind of simple awareness as to what are the things that each one of us have to be aware of. And these are symptoms of breast abnormality, which we have to be very careful about. And it's not that if you see the symptom immediately there is breast cancer. It's not like that. If you see any of the symptoms I'm going to talk about now, it just means go to a doctor. Now, that's what it means. Even if there's no symptom, we need to do an annual health checkup. As a part of the annual health checkup, if you're already doing it, it has to have a breast health check. Breast health check itself. So what are the key symptoms? The first and foremost is if you have a lumpy thing, like, what is a lump? Lump is, for example, you touch the middle of your nose, you see some sort of hard stuff. That is what is a lump. If you touch your, cheeks, that obviously is not, right? So that kind of thing, because it's very, very difficult to find many times, right? Because people have what's called as dense breast, where everything looks like very hard, but that's not what I'm talking about. Something that is conspicuous. It is like something that is there, right? And how do you test and where do you test this? So this needs to be tested, let's say every month, right? If a person has not reached menopause, she can do 5 days after her menstrual cycle. Otherwise, we can choose a day, any day, 1st of Jan, 1st of Feb, 1st of March, or 10th of Feb, whatever, right? You choose a day and stick to the same day and do this test in, let's say, in the bathroom, in front of the mirror, whatever. So just, you have to have a way of searching for it. And looking for the lump, and I'll show how to do that in the end. They'll play a video for that, a schematic video. So that is one, if there is a lump, which is hard. And a swelling, not just on the breast, but also on the armpit, under the arms. Underarm also is a location, it's called axilla, where a lump can appear. And this is something that needs to be checked. The next, we have to check the center point, the nipple, right? So where it is actually going inside, or maybe there is a discharge. And this is very, very important. Something like a blood-like structure or a watery thing coming out is something that you have to be very conscious about. And if it happens even once, it's good to show to a doctor, as early as possible. And sometimes there are changes, like scaling like thing on the skin, like, rashes or dimple and all that we need to, it's not very obvious, but if it remains and it's not because of cold, all of that. So please do tell your gynecologist or any physician you can show. And typically, like when you stand in front of the mirror, you will know that, usually one breast is a little bigger than the other, but any major change, like sudden bulging and so on, could be because of some infection also. So that sort of is other thing that, we need to be worried about. And finally, many people have breast pain. It's not, again, you just wear some tight clothing, sometimes you have, it's just like hand pain and all of that. But if there is a consistent one place location where there is a consistent pain, then, it's good to go for a doctor. So these are some of the symptoms that everyone needs to check every month. If you're already doing it, wonderful. If you're not, please start today, right? Or tomorrow, whatever. So do this. There's no particular time or whatever. You can do this. Just check it. That is the first and foremost thing all of us need to do from an awareness standpoint. Can we do it in a very additional proactive way? Can we actually detect even earlier, before even a symptom appears, right? Symptom appearing is stage 3. Still, we have to catch it. This is still good. Definitely we have to catch it. But can we do it much earlier? So there are tests where it can be detected. So one is doing ourselves, is called self-breast examination. What I mentioned so far is called self-breast examination. We can also go to a gynecologist, and she can do it as well, because she knows exactly how to feel. That's called clinical breast examination. Another test that's available, I already talked about a little bit before, is mammography. This is the 2 plates where the breast is put in, and then this is compressed. It's a little bit painful, and that is what we are trying to avoid with the new test that Nirama has brought in. And the third test is what's called as ultrasound, breast ultrasound. And many of us have gone through a breast ultrasound when we had our children, babies, and so on and so forth. It's very similar. A radiologist comes and checks for any abnormality. And then the fourth one is what we as a team have invented at Niramai, which is a non-contact, non-invasive test. And I'll talk a little bit more about it. So what is good? Which test is good and when, and what are the gaps? Clinical breast examination is a hand-based examination. Any gynecologist or a physician nearby, any doctor, sometimes just a health worker, a nurse can do this. Yourself, of course, you can do it at home. This is more, if you feel something and you want to make sure that that is a lump, you can go to a doctor then. As I mentioned before, to feel with the hand, it has to be 2 or 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters in size. And also, just because there is a lump, it is not cancer. Malignancy is what is called as cancer. Technical term for that is malignant. Benign is a lump which is not cancer. Yes, there are 60 to 70% of the lumps which are not cancer. So just because, oh my God, I have a lump. No, don't get worried. It is just one of the symptoms. And it doesn't, any of this symptom doesn't mean it is cancer only. It is just, you have to be cautious. You have to be, just careful about it, right? So if there is a palpable lump, you'll go to a doctor, but many times it may not be cancer. It's just a tissue being stiff or whatever, right? So that also means that just clinical based examination is definitely not sufficient to figure out if that is really cancer. In fact, when I say 60%, which means like 100 people having lump, 60 of them will not be cancer at all. So how many people will feel like falsely worried about it? I will not show to a doctor. What if it is cancer? No, don't even worry about it. That is first thing I want to say. What if it is cancer? Big deal. It can be cured. But if it is cancer and you're hiding it, it's a huge problem for your family, because late stage means huge amount of treatment costs, huge amount of complications. Do not wait for that. In case any of these symptoms are there, just go, because that is the best thing that you can do to your family by helping them. Okay, detect. If it is not cancer, great. You at least that it is nothing to worry about and you can be happy, right? So the same thing for preventive tests or clinical based examination. Next, for preventive tests or like what we call as general health checkup, mammography is, as I mentioned, one of the standards. It does not work on women under 45 years of age. As I mentioned, it has this pressure and also risk of radiation. Having said that, it is a good, it can catch 5 millimeters of cancer, which is stage 0, stage 1, which is very good. But yes, it has these limitations. Sonomammography is not X-ray, which is very nice. It's non-radiation, it's very nice. However, if there is no symptom, it is difficult to find if there is a problem or not with sonomammography. If there is a symptom, if there is a lump, then typically we recommend an ultrasound. A sonomammography is same as breast ultrasound. And then you could basically get the radiologist, figure out whether that lump is just an infection, a cyst, or something that needs attention. And then there are these tests called MRI, you would have heard of, PET-CT, gamma based tests, FNAC, fine needle aspiration, biopsy. All this is not for screening. These are like if somebody is suspicious of cancer, they will, high risk as we call it, they will go through this very, very complicated test. And that sort of is not what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about how to cure and all. That's a different talk altogether. And then we have Nirmai test, which is actually has the way of detecting much before a hand can feel the lump. Instead of 25 millimeters or 2.5 centimeters, we can detect 4 mm, 5 mm of cancer. Early detection is very, very. And at that time, we could even say whether it is malignant or not, or whether it is cancer or not cancer. If you have a lump, we can tell you whether that needs to be worried or not, something to be worried or not, sorry. Most importantly, it is radiation free. All we do is measure the temperature on the chest. And it's completely non-contact, non-invasive. You don't have somebody else pulling it, put it under the pillow. No, it is a changing room experience, I call it. You just have a booth. The lady enters into the booth. She sits like this for 10 minutes and comes out. Her report will be ready. Not even a technician or a doctor would have touched you or seen you without clothes. Of course, all of this test requires, most of this test rather requires, no clothes on top. But the last one does not even have anybody seeing or touching. And it's very portable. It's a device which you can put it in your, like the technician or a health worker can actually take it to villages and homes and all that and do it. And again, we'll talk about it. And it is proven accurate, better accuracy than mammography or clinical based examination, because sonomammography is only for people with symptoms, that we don't, like comparison, we say, okay, if you find something abnormal in Nirmai test, then we say, go for a sonomammogram because it is radiation free. And the test does work on women under 45 or above 45, applicable to women of all age groups. So here is sort of, why am I saying age group? What is the difference, right? Maybe your daughter and yourself, right? This is a 60-year-old. This is a 40-year-old. So what do you see remarkably difference? different is that this whole breast is appearing white in the X-ray, which is the mammography of the breast now. So here is the cancer. It's easy for a radiologist to see in an elderly lady. So it's actually effective many times. But of course, the radiation is still there, the pain is still there and all of that. But here, how do you find this is a cancer? Why not this? Why not? Everyone will have like this. How do we find cancer, if at all, if it is there in younger women? It is not possible. That's the reason why mammography is not recommended. One of the reasons recommended for younger women. And then now coming to the Niramai solution, I'm not here to sort of sell it, but, just create awareness on this so that, it's up to you. So first and foremost, it is a privacy aware early stage breast cancer detection. As I briefly mentioned before, it can detect even before a lump is felt. We are able to detect 4 millimeters of cancer, which is almost 5 to 8 times smaller than what a hand can detect. Stage 0 by definition of the lesion is called T0 nodes or T1 nodes. As I mentioned again, non-contact, non-invasive. Nobody sees the person or touches the person. Completely privacy aware with the curtain and all of that. Close the door and go in. That's it, right? We just measure the temperature. It's like a thermometer. If you have a thermometer, you don't say, okay, morning I measured. Do I need to measure in the evening also? No, you don't ask that because there's no harm in measuring again and again. Same thing here. If a person is high risk with, let's say, 1 or 2 people in her family already having, detected with some kind of cancer, then it's best she does the test every 6 months. And you cannot do mammography every 6 months because of the X-ray part. This absolutely no radiation, it can be done. Even people who have had cancer can do this test for a follow-up. Every 1 year follow-up is sufficient, or maybe it depends. And as I mentioned, it works for women of all ages. In fact, men can get breast cancer too. It's not known much that men also can have. Of course, the number of cases is much lower and there's no test for it. And this one can work on both men and female, male and female. It's much, much more affordable. The machine itself is 1/20th the cost of a mammography machine. So there are many, many diagnostic centers are buying it because of the cost that they can afford to provide. And also it is portable, so they can give it in the hospital or actually give it outside the hospital also. So this small it is. This is the device we are talking about. It is like almost like a studio type, right? It's like a camera. It's not a camera. It's just measuring temperature. You would have seen this in airports when they're doing COVID screening, right? People are that black, red and kind of image that I showed here. This is the image that it takes, right? It's not an image like a photo. It's actually temperature differences on the skin. And I'm going to talk more about it later. So, and simple nursing staff can actually do this test. A health worker can do the test. And the images and the report are sent to a doctor on a phone app called Niramai Doctor. And he reviews or she reviews it and then gives a certification also. So it's a fully valid, clinically validated certified report. We have, we started this startup 4 years ago. After about 1.5, 2 years, we started installing in hospitals. We now have 70 plus hospitals in 15 cities having a solution. Apollo Clinic, for example, all of the Apollo clinics have our solution, and several other hospitals, HCG and Sakra World Hospital, all of them have a solution. We have also done many, many camps. It's like this, this is a covering we create. If there's a room inside a room, and this is the technician sitting outside, and there is actually a screening happening. And many, many rural camps we have done as well. Many, like 2000 is just a simple number, but we have done many. We also have a bus. This is funded by Rotary, which is called Pink Express, where there's a small room where we do the Niramai test, and there's also waiting room and so on. So this goes to different parts of this is near Bangalore. We have done that. And then, of course, there's also people who want to contribute to a bus. We are also creating another bus where, it can go to different other places. And, this is more detail of how that looks. This in Pink Expresses, of course, was in both, English, Kannada, a lot of, actually, if you just go to Google and say Niramai or, egoistically, sorry if I can say, just Google for Geeta Manjunath or Niramai, you will see how many people have appreciated this solution, used the solution. I mean, that you can just Google and they'll tell you. So due to COVID, what happened was people were not coming to the hospital at all, because obviously we don't, especially elderly women cannot and should not go to a hospital, because there are several other people who are coming in and you don't know what, of course you can go to a hospital if there is an emergency, but if there's no emergency, better to stay at home. Hopefully it will ease out in a few months now, thanks to the vaccine and all of that. So what we did was, because it's a very portable solution, you saw the size in the image, we said, let's do home screening. And this is something we launched a few months ago during COVID timeframe, and everybody is loving this as well. It's almost like our Swiggy and Zomato, right? You can't go to a hotel, you can get it home. So our 2 girl technicians come home, set it up in 15 minutes, and the whole test is over within half an hour, because 15 minutes of the test is what it takes. So what I'll do is just play a small video.
The Niramai technology to me. Having heard about it, I went to get a checkup done. I was quite skeptical before I went for the test. It took me by surprise because the machines didn't touch me. It was all happening from far away. जैसे eye test होते हैं ना, दूर से बिल्कुल वैसा.
Right. So that's what it is. So this is again, like I said, it can be done on home. So how does that work? From an end user perspective, our technicians will be there. They explain to the people. There is one thing we do, which is cooling the body. So there's a fan or a cooler which blows cool air on the person. After this, removing the top clothes, we cool. That is the only disadvantage. You'll feel little cold. Cool air means it's like the fan, right? It's not like blowing 2 degrees or whatever. It's just blowing cool air. And because that, when we do the temperature variations on the chest, we are talking about very, very subtle temperature variations. We are able to detect 26 degrees Celsius and 26.02 Celsius next to each other, tissues next. It's a very, very high resolution, thermal sensing that we have. So it generates this kind of an image, and this image basically captures the temperature variations on the chest. And then it is analyzed using thermal imaging, and a report is sent to the lady within 24 hours after the certification by the radiologist, right? And in fact, when we go to villages and all, we actually give the report immediately, because we cannot wait for a doctor, because the lady may go somewhere else. So immediately the tool itself will generate a report. This technique, we call it as thermalytics. It's actually patented, 10 US patents, Singapore, China, India, all of the patents we have for this. So where, some of you with scientific mindset, right, you'll think, why is this working? Why should temperature make a difference to cancer? You may have this question, right? So what happens is that when there is some kind of an abnormality like cancer, there is irregular cell division. A single cell starts dividing in a very uncontrolled fashion. Typically what happens in our body, in every part, there will always be additional cells which are coming in, cell growth and cell death. Like, some cells will be dying, some cells will be coming up, and that's a normal process. But what happens for cancer is that it keeps on growing, the cell doesn't die. And so what happens, it becomes more and more hungry, it takes all the resources around, and it goes irrationally, irregularly, right? So that is what is happening. So while this is happening, even at very small one cell level, because of the activity, higher blood flow to that region, it starts becoming slightly higher temperature. You can't feel it. I mean, you can't feel and say, oh, higher temperature, but the cell will have higher temperature. That's why we cool and also capture this image. So here you're seeing 4 lakh temperature points, not one temperature point, which you put it in with a thermometer, it'll say 98.7 degree Fahrenheit. Here we are talking about 4 lakh temperature points we measure per person. That high resolution with just one shot, okay? And what you're seeing here is the temperature shown in color. White is 36 degrees Celsius, red is 35 degrees Celsius, something like that, okay? So as the color changes, there is difference. So basically here and here, the neck region, you're seeing the same temperature like that, right? And there are some hot areas, low, all that. So just because something is hot area, it is not cancer. It has to have a multiple type of analysis. So with this 4 lakh temperature points, we actually look at patterns of thermal temp signatures, right? Which are significant of high blood flow, significant of irregular growth and all of that. We look at all of that, and with about 117 different parameters or patterns, abnormal patterns, we feed it into a probability model and come out with a score. And that score will say, like, do you need another test or you are safe, right? That's something that we do completely automatic. And also we mark the area of potential abnormality. Sometimes it could be just an infection, very high level of infection, which is not visible on top. It's called abscess. And that is very difficult to find out. And sometimes there may be pain. Then with this, we are able to find out it doesn't have to be cancer. It can be any of these abnormalities which require a follow-up test. And next question you would have is that cleared? Is it something that approved? Yes. We have an approval from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which is India. We also have recently in December cleared the CE marking, and the device itself also is FDA cleared. And we have actually installed in many government hospitals also. This is a government hospital like National Health Mission Maharashtra, where right now regularly screenings are happening in Pune and Thane. Thane was affected a bit because of COVID, but it's back. We are doing many screenings there as well. Even in Bangalore, which is where we are based out of, we have many district hospitals, and what we call as BBMP hospital, Bangalore Bruhat Palike Hospital, where we have this test. Of course, the last 2 months or 3 months, we have reduced it because they are focusing on COVID. Now they're coming back to normal. Sorry, last few months, actually, I would want to say. And then this is a letter from the mayor saying this test has to be done in every place. We've also worked with, non-profit organizations, cancer societies. For example, this is a Karnataka Cancer Society where, they've actually been with us for more than 3 years. Every camp they will do with Niramai test only. So this is something that, they have an office in Malleshwaram. So there also they have an installation, but we usually go out to do the camps from Karnataka Cancer Society. And many colleges have gone through this. And a lot of women have also gone through it and given amazing feedback as well, right? So this is, we also did a corporate camp. We've done camps in apartments. If you're all staying together, we can send so that, all of the people can be given 15 minute slot, and that screening can be done in the clubhouse or something. We have done that in many, Prestige, Shantiniketan, Elita, so many other, CBRE kind of, RWS, we've done that. And offices, and of course, villages and home, all of that has been done. Here is a small snippet by Kiran Majumdar Shah ma'am.
But today we have a new solution which is being provided by a very exciting young startup called Niramai, who actually have come up with a thermoprofiling technology which actually creates a heat map of tissue and thereby detects the smallest of lesions in breast cancer. And this, I think, is a very exciting time because these are non-intrusive and painless kind of interventions for breast screening. And I encourage every young girl over the age of 25 to start doing annual checkups using these kind of technologies. I think Niramai has a huge potential because I think breast screening and annual breast checkups are going to be very important going forward. But today...
Okay, so that, and so we've actually won many awards. Recently, we were also awarded National Health, National Startup Award. We, of course, we'll be featured on DD and all that for this. And we've also put India on the world map of these startups. If you can see, like, India is blue because of Niramai here. And this is not our, map. And some of you may know about CB Insights, which is an analyst, international analyst. We didn't apply for it. They just said, they looked around and then figured out we fall in this category of top 100 startups in the world. So at this stage, of course, I'll take questions, but I want to call for action two things. As Niramai, I mean, of course, we started off as doing everything free and all of that, but I completed my bank balance, so now we do charge a bit, and so we have two products, and basically we want to do some kind of awareness talks like this. The first thing call for action is that each of you please do self-examination every month once, and if you're a male, please tell your partner, female partner, daughter, sister, friends. Each one of you, tell your friends, tell at least 5 more friends, about this. That's very, very important. Secondly, if you would like to do so, if you don't want to come out of the house, there are 2 things. One, we also have a questionnaire-based health risk assessment, where you please answer these questions. These are English questions. We are not doing this question to get a survey of everybody no, it's not a survey. Just answer the questions, and it comes with a score saying how often you have to do the test. It's an individual report, but based on the answers that you give to some 20 plus questions. We again crunch it with a different machine learning or an AI model or probability model to give these scores. And we also look at age-based, between 45 and 50, what is the regular risk and what is your risk? Where do you stand? It's like a percentile marks. It's all good. It's not to scare you. It's just to be aware because this is a very, very important part. I've gone to so many places, people hesitate to tell the word breast. Why not? I say hand, leg, why not? This is a body part. And this is a very, very important body part which can take a life away. And all you need to do is give 15 minutes of your time every month to check for symptoms. If possible, take this test. This is the online tool I talked about answering these questions. And of course, we also have the home screening. If you want, you can go to niramai.com and register for screening. I will, before I end my talk, I will share this self-examination tips once again. So you'll remember that you need to do this every month. Fix a date and do it every month. So hope this was useful, and all we want to do is use technology to save many, many lives. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. I'll be happy to take questions.
That was wonderful, Dr. Geeta. We'll open for questionnaire. So I've allowed everybody to unmute and speak. So we'll be little careful, seeing that if somebody is talking, we'll wait for our turn and talk. So any questions, you can please ask Dr. Geeta.
This is Rita Bose here. Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure, ma'am.
I want to know whether you have this facility in Kolkata and whether you are going to hold any camp in Kolkata for us, which would be most welcome.
Okay.
Another question is that will nervousness or anxiety change the appearance on the screen?
Okay, very good questions. We do not have it on the in Calcutta yet, and we'll definitely. There have been some requests. We have some partner there. Apollo is there, so we will ask them to start in Apollo Clinic there immediately. We have it, of course, in Bhubaneswar. That's the sort of the westmost we have gone there. But it's a very good point. We'll come back to you as soon as I'll inform Rekha ji, and she'll have a way of informing when we start there. And in terms of nervousness, typically what we do, it's a very good question because people will be very tensed and all when you do this test. So what we do, ma'am, is basically we measure the temperature on both the breasts, right? And typically what happens if there is an abnormality, typically it will be in one breast and not the other, right? So we use this symmetry parameter also to actually figure that out. So even if a person has fever or hormonal or any of this anxiety, it will be shown in breast. And so we discount those kinds of factors. But it's a very good factor, very good point. We always ask them to really be calm and all. So what the 10 minutes of cooling that we do, blowing cool air, we also play some music actually, so that there is some kind of a calmness. But not always we'll be able to play music. Depends on if it's at home they will allow or not. But it is able to handle that. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, and I hope you come to Calcutta quickly because I'm up for a mammography and I'm very, very scared.
Sure, ma'am. We will do it ASAP. We should be able to do it very quickly. Thanks.
Okay, ma'am. I have a question similar to what she asked about Pune. Is there any center where we can get it done in Pune?
Pune, these are one of our main spots, ma'am. Pune, yes, we have. Pune, I would say the best thing, because there's a lot of COVID happening, you just come to our website and say, I want to do the screening. We will send people home for that. It is available regularly in the district hospital, Pune. But I don't know whether you would like to go for the district hospital things there. So I would say in Pune we also have it in Kasturba Park or something. Basically UCC there also we have. But best thing I think is a home screening in Pune for you.
Okay. So do you have a number or something where I can call for home screening?
Yeah. So if you come to our website niramai.com. Okay. I'm writing it here. So there is book appointment. So you can book appointment, you can say which date and all that. And then, our team will call you, answer all the questions about it. And then based on your convenience, we will send people.
And roughly how much does it cost?
For home screening, it is 2,500. But if you go to a district hospital, it's 1,500.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. And it was very informative.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Dr. Geeta, Kashi Vishwanathan from Chennai.
Yes, sir.
I would like to know about the Chennai facility do you have?
Yes, sir. So Chennai, we have in Pennalam, which is slightly outskirts of Chennai. But we also recently, like I said, in November, December timeframe, we have started an Apollo clinics of Chennai also.
Okay, I know about Pennalam.
Hospital, we are in discussion. So, Scan India, we had like that, there are many locations also, sir.
I know about Pennalam.
Yes, sir.
Because that is where I have taken my domestic helps for screening.
Correct. So that is a little, urban,
I know that.
Yeah. So Pennalam has been using it for almost 2 years, I think, close to 2 years now. Dr. Sujata ma'am there is a radiologist.
Yeah, Dr. Radha.
Radha ma'am is, of course, the main person. Yes.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the question. In fact,
Can I
Dr.
say?
Shanta
Should one
recently passed away, sir,
Yeah.
from Adyar. She is also a big supporter of our test. Dr. Shanta ma'am, who's from Adyar Cancer also, she is like a divine soul. She was a big supporter of our work, sir.
This technology is something new.
Yes, sir, it is new, sir. So actually, use of thermal imaging is not new. It has been around. In fact, it's good that you asked and I'll answer the other person's question. See, what happened was, in a long Archimedes time, right? Really in BC also, people used to detect abnormality in a body with wet mud. They used to make the person lie down and, put wet mud. Whichever dries off, whichever part dries very quickly, they were saying, oh, there is some hotter piece. There's something is wrong there. So the concept of using thermal signature, thermal differences has been age old. Now, of course, thermal sensors or infrared cameras, we call it, that have come more because of defense purposes. Because in defense, what happens in Kashmir, for example, you can't have a soldier watching every boundary, place, right? So they'll keep a thermal camera. Now, what happens is if a person moves, he'll be 37 degrees Celsius. Rest is all 0 degrees. So you can easily make out that there is of course, they don't know whether it's an animal or a human being, but they know something is moving. So these thermal imaging devices are used for several such purposes. And so that is what we have evolved to make it really accurate. Otherwise, just using thermal sensor, people will call out 70% of people as positive, and it's not good. So we want to make sure that it is only required people are called for follow-up test. That is completely new and developed only by our team.
10 years back, I lost my wife to breast cancer.
Okay.
That is the time I read about the thermal imaging technique being developed by IIT Chennai.
IIT Chennai, okay. Actually, yeah, so there is in Coimbatore they had done, maybe they are also collaborated with IIT folks. So, but they did not continue, one, because the accuracy has to be very, very high. So that's why we were working on all of these patterns to get, really, we have 100% sensitivity in asymptomatic women. And we published in large, we've so far done about 35,000 women, 34,000 or something. So all of that has been very good. Sir.
I have been encouraging all my friends, the ladies, to undergo the check because I know how very severe this will affect, because I had the practical experience of my wife suffering from that. So I have been encouraging all my friends to undergo these checks. And now the thermal imaging will be
problem, sir.
Yes.
I lost 2 of my cousins, so that's why I quit my job and started doing this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your
very
time.
good.
Great.
Ma'am,
One more
can I ask you a question? Hello? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What
Please.
is meningitis?
Yeah, Jayashree ma'am, please.
Yeah, meningitis. Speak about that. Meningitis.
So I'm not an expert in meningitis. So having said that, thermal imaging can be used for several other type of diseases as well, in addition to breast cancer. Right now, we are focusing on breast cancer because that is one of the major issues. And then if there are any other problems, also we can detect, but we want to tell like what we are 100% confident.
If cyst is there on the uterus mouth, so
I'm sure you've contacted a gynecologist, ma'am.
Yeah, I contacted.
So I think regular screening is very important because, uterus and breast are the 2 main parts where, women have to be careful about. What I suggest is every, if you've done a pap smear, every 2 years, please do a pap smear. And then, if not, you can also do another test called BR. So the gynecologist is the best person for that.
No, it was shown, nothing was there.
Okay.
It's okay now, but I just wanted to know,
Sure, ma'am.
And mammography was also done. There was also nothing.
Okay, very good, ma'am. So, but mammography, even if you have done, please do the self-test examination and this kind of a test every year. I think that will be best, ma'am. Just to make sure that it's all good.
Okay. Thank you.
Once
a year is enough for this test?
Yes, once a year is fine, unless you have a family cancer history. That is somebody like a sister or a mother, aunt, has had a breast cancer in the family, or maybe father had cancer. So if two people have had, then I would suggest every 6 months.
So would liver and gallbladder cancer also be counted, like if your mother has had, then you have more propensity?
Yes, ma'am. Typically, ovary or breast cancer in the family, one. Any other cancer, if two people have had, that is a high risk.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Rukmani from Chennai.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. My friend, she had been referred for the treatment of 6 chemotherapy sessions. But because of the COVID, she wasn't able to attend for the 2 sessions.
Okay.
Will it affect the treatment, course of treatment?
It will, it will not affect the treatment. Obviously, regular chemotherapy is good. But what they will do is, when you tell the oncologist, they will increase the dose and then make sure that this gap can be compensated. And during chemo also this test can be done if that is of interest, because what happens is chemotherapy is supposed to kill some, is it been like 6 months since she had a cancer surgery, ma'am?
No, first she had the radiation. Then the relapse came. Then the surgery. Yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah.
And she was undergoing the treatment at the Adyar Cancer Institute itself. And during the COVID period, that chemotherapy center was closed. She wasn't able to get it properly.
Okay.
That is the problem. Now she is continuing, but there was a break. 2 months she wasn't able to do that.
Break is fine. Mainly she needs to take care of her diet as well. Basically lifestyle is very important, right? Because she has had a recurrence, she has to be very careful about her health. Eat healthy, like all the greens, carbohydrates, minimize carbohydrates, and also of course, even if she doesn't have sugar, try to control the sugar. And exercise, 20 minutes of exercise, everyone here is very, very important. And I'm so glad I'm part of this art of living as well. So there is a nice package, Padma Sadhana. It's just 15-20 minutes. If you do that, it's also very, very helpful. Yoga is extremely helpful.
She's
Whether you can touch it or not, do how much ever you can. I think that's very helpful. Walking is very helpful.
Madam, I'm
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm Rajappan.
Yes,
from
sir.
Chennai chapter. Madam, hello.
Yes, sir. Rajappan.
I'm Rajappan from Chennai chapter.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think that by having good food habits and proper exercise and not keeping yourself idle, so most of the people, because of this present technology development, they sit in front of a computer for hours together and they don't have any physical work. Don't you think that having proper exercise, yoga and food practices, you can avoid lumps in the breast?
So there is no, I completely agree with you. I would like to sort of, say, reduce stress, do regular exercise, eat properly. But what happens is there's no proven, clinical validation to say, okay, people who followed exercises didn't have this one. So I, as a, scientist, I cannot say, yes, but as a, human being, I want to say yes, because I think it's very much true, because, you have to take care. But what happens, there's always this, the taste buds, won't listen, right? You will actually taste, even though you're diabetic, you want to try and see, can I have that one sweet? That is always there, but it's fine. As long as it's not every day. And also, you feel lazy, like you said, right? If we can actually get yourself that 20 minutes to do the exercise, that is the best thing, basically. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, agree with you. We can actually avoid many types of issues. Thank you, sir.
Madam, I'm Jayaraman from Chennai chapter.
Yes, sir.
Is there any age restriction is there to check this breast cancer? Even the menopause stops, after that also there's a chance to get this?
Absolutely, sir. In fact, After menopause, it is higher chances, sir. I'm sorry to say this. That is why mammography was recommended, because it works only after 45, and typically menopause is around 40, 45. But what has also changed is even younger women can get. That is the new thing that has happened because of, like the earlier Dr. Rajapan said, you know, the eating habits and all of that, right? That is making even the age come down. But above 45, definitely they have to go for a test. Just preventative test, but let them go for it.
Okay.
It's very important because these are related to the hormonal changes. And after menopause, they're not going to get periods every month. So hormonal things pack up. Basically, they collect, and that I'm giving very, very rough view.
Okay. Yeah,
That
understand.
kind of, you know, increases.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm Suguna from the Pune chapter. I know a couple of people who have breast cancer. And they're undergoing treatment. So will this test help them in any way?
Yes, ma'am. So it will help for 2-3 reasons. What happens is, like one of the previous person mentioned, the breast cancer treatment is for the whole year almost, right? You know, because there's radiation, there's chemotherapy, and all of that comes in. And during this process, sometimes some people will be hormonal positive, some people will be triple negative. So there are some variations in the type of cancer also. Because of that, many times the doctors are trying out a few techniques to kill the thing, right? When they're trying this out, this is called treatment monitoring. Our test will help a lot, because in our test, we don't say yes cancer, no cancer. It's not like that. We give a score. Just like you would do a sugar test, you get 100 means you're reasonably okay. 200 is obviously stop eating all the sugar, right?
Yeah.
So like that, we give a score. Anything which is higher than 0.5, 0.6, we say, okay, so you definitely require. Now, when a person is already having cancer, during treatment, she can do the test more often. In fact, we have people who are going through this cancer treatment, and some of them want to take naturopathy treatment. So they do naturopathy treatment. But any of these people, allopathy, naturopathy, whichever, they take our test every 2 months. While this process is happening. And we watch the score. If the score has come from 0.6 to 0.55, already you're getting better, right? So that watching can be done actually. So we do recommend this test for even people undergoing treatment as well as post also.
Thank you very
much. Every year the test has to be done if a person has had a cancer.
Thank you very much.
Madam, one question. My name is Sharda Bani from Bangalore, Vijayanagara Chavadi. Is it, hello?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you, Shardamani, ma'am. Yeah.
Huh?
I can hear you, please tell me.
Is it hereditary, madam? Is it
Good
hereditary?
question. Yeah, it is good question. Hereditary risk is there, ma'am, actually. 10% of the cancers found in breast are because of, mother or grandmother having, or aunt, mother's side having abnormality, either breast cancer or ovarian. The risk, the chances of the girl, the daughter or a granddaughter getting is higher than another person who doesn't have a mother who has had breast cancer. So that way it is hereditary, but it is not hereditary in the sense that if a person has, her daughter will surely get. No, it's not like that, right? There's a small percentage higher chance of her daughter getting. That is there.
Thank you so much for good information.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Geeta, from Chennai, my father's side, I'm Mrs. Triveni Vastavan. My father's side, so mostly they died because of cancer in the throat, or
thyroid,
or somewhere else. Ladies and gents, mostly all cousins, they died cancer. So I used to be afraid of this. I'm now 68.
Okay.
Diabetic. So you are telling about only breast cancer. Okay.
Yes.
Then there are some other cancer. One is uterus, one is throat, one is mouth, one is like that. How they all died, found due to cancer. Then how can I get help how to find out what is in my body?
Yes.
Body. Telling about cancer.
Yes, ma'am. No, you have a good point. So what generally happens is for women, It's a very good point. Why only breast cancer? Why not other cancers? Why are we not talking about it, right? Yes, we need to find solutions like this for every cancer. I completely agree with you. But we also look at what is the most common cancer people get. In women, more than 25% of, there are many types of cancers. Out of that, more than 25% of the cancers are just breast cancer. Next biggest is cervical cancer. So what every lady has to do, particularly after menopause, is that get a test done for both cervical cancer and breast cancer. Then you almost cover more than 50% of the cancers that can happen. It's a very simple, that's why most of the research is also focused on these two common things that we can catch. This thermal imaging that we have said, I don't know whether it will happen in the next 5 years or 10 years, man. But this is something that I want to take it to make it whole body scan. Right? Right. So that is where we want to go. But of course, it requires a lot of support from the ecosystem. And I myself, we have to do, because it's not like I'll go and scan and I'll tell somebody, it requires a lot of clinical validation. We want the doctors to say, yes, this is actually working. It's not a fun imaging, right? It really has to have a clinical validation. That takes time. And if God willing, in some years, we maybe, and my dream is to have a booth. The lady enters in, she closes the door and she comes out and it should say, how is her different parameters? Let's see. So because it's completely non-contact, it is possible. It is possible.
Actually,
but you're absolutely right.
Doctor, I took some tests are there to find out what is in my body.
Yes.
I took lot of tests for this.
Okay.
3 years back, 4 years back.
Okay.
So I'm no worry about that. So again, should I take it, or I'm always thinking, I'm worried about it.
Yeah, no, as long as you're taking something that is not invasive, that is not changing like inside the body, right? That is poking and all of that, then I think you should take it. And if you have done a test very recently, you can take next year also. But if you have not done, please do. Where are you from, ma'am?
Chennai.
Chennai. Okay. Sure. Home screening also can be done.
You were telling about
I can ask
Niramai is
question.
available in Apollo, right?
Yeah, Apollo Clinic is available, or home screening is also available.
Okay, thank you.
I'm stressing on home because of your age, ma'am. I don't want you to go to hospital for this. That's all.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I want to ask question.
Yes, ma'am. Vaishali, ma'am.
Yeah. I am from Mumbai.
Okay.
And you told us the Nirmai solution test.
Yes.
Is it in Mumbai and where?
Definitely, ma'am. Mumbai is another big area. We have it in, again, all Apollo clinics of Mumbai. We also have it in Health Springs. Health Spring is also a chain of hospitals in Mumbai. There also we have it. Okay. And also in District Hospital, Thane, we have it. And also we have home screening.
But private hospitals like Hiranandani, Apollo Clinic.
Apollo Clinic we have. Okay. Which hospital did you say, ma'am?
Hiranandani Hospital.
Hiranandani Hospital. I have gone there. I met Dr. Modi sir there. His name is Mode.
Oh, yeah.
He's interested. We have to make that happen. We have to work on it. We have one person in Mumbai. Our business officer is there. Slowly we will do that also.
My mother had breast cancer at the age of 80.
Okay.
80.
Okay.
80.
Have you done a mammogram, ma'am? It will be good for you to take the test.
3 times I have done. But now 3-4 years I have not done.
Okay.
But I think this Nirmai test is good.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is a reasonable within our
yes, ma'am.
Right. So
I
will try this.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Ma'am, there's so many requests for home screening. If you want to show Niramai.com, so where to click so that they can ask for from any city they can home screening, right?
Yeah. So what was the question, ma'am? I'll answer. Yeah, so as I will just, Shailaja suggested a nice thing. She wanted me to show. So this is niramai.com. I mean, you all of you know how to go to a website. Oh, sorry, this is, okay. So you go to book appointment. So we have home screening, hospital screening, and some people want to organize screening camps also. So we have 3 such things here. So you can do home screening. You give the name, mobile number, email, city, pin code, and submit, or people will call. So that is one way of doing it. We also have a list of locations right now. What we suggest is just give the pin code, because we have many partners also who can do it. So it's a very simple thing. Like, whoever wants, you can just give. We will use only your mobile number and email to contact you regarding the test only. We will not give it to any marketing person to call you or anything. This will be simple home screening. That's all. It's a very simple form. niramai.com.
Can I ask a question?
One question to
Yes,
ask.
yes.
Madam, do you organize camps also for NGOs?
Yes, very much, ma'am. We do organize, outside camps. In fact, just this week we are doing it even inside the railways, right? In railways, they wanted all their women employees to go through it. This is in the Bangalore railway station. Next to it, there is a full railway department. All of them are going through 5-day camp right now. Similarly, in villages also we organize. If you can let us know which location and like how many people roughly are expected, we can make arrangements to provide this even beyond the 15 cities that we provide.
I'm from Navi Mumbai.
Okay. Mumbai definitely will organize.
Attached to an NGO, and we once in a year we organize cancer detection camps for underprivileged women.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So till now we were doing through Tata, but
Yes.
they have stopped screening. They have stopped blood tests.
Yes,
So,
yes, there's some changes. They're having a cancer grade. So for underprivileged, what we have is, I didn't show, there is a new type of a report, because obviously we can't get sponsors who can pay 1,500 per person. It's also high. So what we do is we do not give full report. We will just say what people call traffic light output, red, yellow, green, right?
Okay.
So we do the screening. There's no doctor review or signature, because all that will become expensive for them. So it's almost, is a per day, we can do about 50 screenings because 15 minutes per screening will be there. Somebody will sponsor. I can even tell it's 15,000 per day, and we can do like as many people who can come into the camp. And
per day only 15,000 for 50 ladies. For 50.
Usually 50 people can, because generally it depends, you go there, set it up, and 15 minutes, it usually takes that. But if you want more, we will get multiple units also. We can do parallel booths, we can do.
Okay.
And we give a red, yellow, green, or we also give camp level report. How many people came, how many are red, yellow, all that also will be given.
Okay. So through your website only we can contact.
Yeah, so like last one you saw, no? Organized camps. So the third one, if you just tell, our team who handles camps will call you and organize that.
Okay, so niramai.com, that's all.
Niramai.com. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Is it available only in India, or is it there in US also?
And ask for a home screening. So you have to send somebody to Kolkata.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Kolkata is my next target. Yes, so about the countries, right now, we wanted to just focus on India. We have done that. Now there is, like you said, sir, there's a lot of requests from other countries, Asia, Africa, UAE, US, Europe, everywhere. So, but what happens, sir, for every such new device, you have to go through regulatory clearances. So just in December, we have cleared European regulatory clearance and some of the Asian clearances. So we will be next providing this in Europe and other Asian countries like Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia.
Okay. Thank you.
We are only 55 people, sir, so we are trying to do as much as possible.
Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Recently, I'm Rukmani. We heard a lot about the Shimoga treatment, cancer treatment by the Vaidyanarayana.
Yes.
Does it come under natural therapy?
See, what we do is to say whether somebody has a problem or not, ma'am. And after that, we usually recommend what is fully proven. But I have heard about this, and also in Pune, there is a naturopathy doctor. So I'm supportive of them, but I am not competent enough to say whether it is good or not, because there is always a risk associated with unproven technology. It is up to the person. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Doctor,
Because we
one
heard a lot
question.
about him.
Cancer, they say once it is cured, is again relapse after 2 years or 3 years?
So typically it depends on how effective the treatment is. It's called treatment efficacy. And if it is detected early, then what happens, sir? It's a very small lesion, and typically it's a surgery. Many times it's a hormonal treatment. Typically it is surgery. So this, when they do the surgery, they can take off a little bit more around it. So if it is detected early in stage 0, stage 1, it will be small. So you can actually remove that small part very easily, and also have like a boundary, like little extra than the lesion also can be removed. And most importantly, the lesion is what is called as loco-regional. That is, it's limited to the area where it started. But if when it goes to stage 2, stage 3, there's what is called as metastasis that happens. That can get into the blood. The cancer cells can get into the blood, and it can go to several other places. So that stage, if it reaches, then it can actually recur. It can come back. But if it can be detected early, it has been proven that the chances of coming again is very, very low.
No, it's not, because it was on 4th stage, so taken, and it was cured after the 4th stage, after 2 years. Again, after 2 years, again repeated, and then they could not do anything.
Yes,
whatever the thing, it started going only worse. It was
Yes,
not getting
Yes.
control. That's why.
No, that is exactly what happens, sir. Especially 4th stage detection, it recurs within 2 years. That's why the survival rate we talk about is within 2 years what happens. After, if you look at 5-year survival rate, I don't want to scare, with late detection, 5-year survival rate is less than 10%. With late detection, actually. So that this is proven, actually. So that is the main reason why early detection is very, very important. And I feel so, and both of my cousins, it got recurred and I lost them. Both of them, it got recurred after 2 years.
You are very correct.
That is the reason, sir.
You are very correct, doctor. I agree with you. But what you can do, we go to doctors. The doctors only detected very late. So it is not the mistake. Anyhow, whatever happens now here. But after curing, second relapse, and then now they could not control. That's only the reason. The things have begun control now.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
recurrence is a problem, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So kind.
Ma'am,
Dr. Kashi Viswanathan again.
lesions less than 2.5, are they also removed, or if they reach?
So there are multiple methods actually. So removed means basically like injection. It's very small, no, almost like a small FNAC, small injection, like outpatient procedure that can be removed. Or sometimes what they do is they'll take small bit of the lesion and put it in the microscope to see what type of cancer it is. There is a type of a cancer called hormonal responsive cancer, ERPR positive we call it. If it is ERPR positive, then it can be just medication, tablets. We'll all, wish, it's something like that, because if it is not hormonal, they will try that with medication. So that is how it goes basically.
Thank you.
Doctor Kashi Viswanathan again.
Yes, sir, Kashi, sir.
I need your recommendation for screening checks for my daughter as well as my wife's sisters.
Yes, true.
What frequency they should go for check?
Sure. So you're, I'm assuming the daughters are like under 45 years, like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Right? So typically what is recommended is because mammography doesn't work, an ultrasound is recommended. If you don't mind, I will say let them take a Niramai test. Then what happens is that we will give a score. If their score, just for example, is 0.3, then I would say repeat the test in 6 months. If her score is 0, I would say aram say 1 year. And even after that 1 year, if it is 0 only, every 2 years. So it is very much dependent on the score that she gets, basically. So that way it is very personalized.
Sisters also should go for such things.
Yes, yes.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This is Hemlata Anand from Chennai.
Yes.
Okay, I am now 73. I used to go for a regular checkup. Now, so now, do I still continue for a regular checkup, or can I take some rest, or 2 years, or once in 2 years and 3 years is what I want.
Regular checkup with which test, ma'am?
Full body checkup. I used to get it done with all things.
No, typically, I think annual checkup is very good, just to make sure if there's any other parameter which is going up or down. So please continue. And breast health check, you can decide can be once in 2 years also. If the first result is absolutely like 0 and like nothing at all.
Yeah, there are normally 0, nothing. It's that. So
that's very good, ma'am. So
I used to get it done in the Railway Perambur Hospital. In the Railway Perambur Hospital, I used to get it done. So there only I used to get the thing. So I used to go regularly once every year. But now I'm just thinking, somebody said after 72, you can take it, relax, and also I wanted to ask you.
Usually once in 2 years is fine after 72. If it is okay, you can take one Niramai test and the score also will tell you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Is the machine giving immediate report?
So we give immediate report, but we will not give it to the patient, or rather the person, I call patient anybody who's coming, who's not a patient also. So because we actually send the report to a doctor for review so that, they can review and give the signature. That takes 24 hours, just Otherwise, the report is actually generated in front of your, eyes only, immediately within 15 minutes. That's why if we go to villages or not, we immediately give that report itself. Because if we put the doctor in the picture, the cost will increase, right? So all that. So otherwise, within 24 hours, we will send an email with the PDF, 3-page full PDF report with images, marking of any other cyst also. If it is there, we'll mark just in case you can watch a next report when you take, you can see what has happened to your cyst like that. Cyst is not harmful, but I'm just giving you all the kind of anything is there, we will be able to measure.
Doctor, a few friends get together in one place to get the test done. So will the cost come down for them?
Yes, we actually, it's a very good question. Home screening, actually, if one person, there are 2 people at home. The first person, if he pays full, the second will be 50% discount. Because obviously, see, what we are trying to do is we are sending our team there. If both of you are taking, we will not charge your Ola charges. That's all. Because they will take a cab and come there. So the cab charges are not put because it's purely based on the cost of screening itself for us.
Okay.
So it will be discounted if they are very nearby, like within 2 kilometers. I think that is what our team has put together. If the other person is within 2 kilometers, then I think it's only 1,500 for them. But the first person, whatever. So per person will be like 500 rupees discounted.
Doctor, this is Bhanumati from Vashi, Navi Mumbai.
Yes.
And so to put it in a nutshell, I'm 70-year-old. To put it in a nutshell, and it is the portion, if it is not painful and there is a lump, then with the screening and other things would be done, right? And if there is some kind of a pain, then what does it mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Only muscular pain.
No, I feel there are 2 things, ma'am. There are 2 things. If there is a lump, even if there is no pain, you have to go for at least 1 test.
Okay.
In fact, the cancer will not have pain. That is another thing which many people don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't have pain. No. If there is a lump, there's no pain, please go. And this test can be done. Even if there is no pain, even if there is no lump, take the test at least once, which will give you the score to say how often you have to do the test.
Okay. Because my sister has been complaining, so I just wanted to know it.
Sure.
Thank you.
The Niramai test is not required for gents, it's only for women, right?
Yeah, usually it's done only for women, but almost 25-30 people have taken, even male have taken. But if you're interested, if you're getting the test done for your wife at home, you can take the test also.
That's okay. For wife, okay, but gents is not a must.
Gents also can take. Yeah. I mean, we are going to promote that after. I thought, okay, first we will do the thing, but it can, male also can take and should take. But the cases are not so much like compared to women.
Okay.
Again, last 1 or 2 questions, please. We have taken quite a lot of Dr. Geeta's time. So 1 or 2 last questions.
Okay, 2 last questions.
Okay. Looks like all are like very happy and satisfied with your answers, Dr. Geeta. Thank you so much. We have Urmila ji. Urmila ji, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much for the interactive thing. I was thinking whether it will be helpful or not. I'm so glad that all of you found it helpful.
I am very good, very good.
1 minute.
Again from Sanjanagar Thavdi.
Very, very important.
Hats off to Dr. Geeta. I am feeling proud. Yeah, I am feeling proud that I got a chance to hear you today.
Thank you.
So far, we were under the impression that the first step to detect breast cancer is to go for mammogram. It is really news to us that it can be diagnosed even without mammogram. Doctor, we are really thankful to you for educating us on how to find whether anybody is having initial symptoms of breast cancer. We got very useful and excellent information from you. Knowing the correct status of the problem before it starts creating havoc makes half the battle as one and makes it possible to finally win the battle.
Absolutely.
Doctor, we all senior citizens, ladies, will ever be grateful to you for the knowledge that you have given. Thanks to all, and thanks to Shilu ma'am, Branda ma'am, and Sujay also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind comments. And I really enjoyed talking to all of you. I felt like I met my father and mother here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rekha ji,